Ooh, burr. Oh, hey, what are you doing in here? Oh, I forgot. You're here for the shop tour. All right, let's get started. Hey there. You're here for a shop tour, aren't you? Well, let's do it then. I'm just sitting here doing nothing anyway, so what the hell? Let's talk shop. My shop's 20 by 30. Started as a post frame structure. So I've never built a post frame building before, but um, I built this pretty much during the pandemic. So the post frame style was the most affordable option for me. And if you were buying anything during the pandemic, you remember how ridiculously expensive it was. We were paying, $1 a linear foot for a basic 2x4, but um, it was the window of opportunity that I had. I took it. Yes, I paid more than what I should have, but in the end, it worked out. I built it how I wanted it, so it's here now. Can't complain about it. Like I said, 20 by 30, has 10-foot eaves, vaulted ceilings, all hand-cut rafters on an 8/12 pitch. I know 20 by 30 isn't huge, which is why I really wanted the vaulted ceilings, so it just feels roomier. One end up here behind me has a storage loft. I like to keep a lot of my seasonal stuff up there, especially the beekeeping supplies that I'm not using in the winter. Keep it up out of the way. Shop is wired. It has a 100 amp service, and I have several 220 volt outlets along with tons of 120. Their outlets are everywhere. I do run, most of my machines run on 220, so it's nice to have that option. I have a couple TVs, listen to a lot of music out here, watch a lot of football games with the neighbors, and we generally have a good time out here. The shop does convert pretty quickly to a nice place to have a party or an event. We do annual Halloween parties. We had New Year's out here this year. We had just lots of stuff, so it's fun. Um, Up in the corner, I'll show you, I have some Big Macs, Mr. Heater, 50,000 BTU. Keeps the shop nice and warm. I run that on a 100-pound propane tank. Fill it up a couple times a winter. It's not hard. It's a little heavy to haul back and forth to the pickup truck, but I make do. And I'm not burning up an electricity bill trying to heat this thing with electric heat. I do have a supplemental heater right above my head that I think it's a radiant heater. So it only heats the objects that it shines on, which is my assembly table and, of course, me while I'm standing there working. So if the shop is 50 degrees and I have that little radiant heater on, I'm pretty comfortable. I will jack the temperature up a little bit if I'm painting or gluing things up. But for the most part, somewhere between 50, 55 degrees is pretty comfortable for me for a work environment. Again, self-contained. I don't have water out here, plumbing or anything. I don't feel the need for that. My house is literally 20 steps away, so it's not crucial for me to have water out here or indoor plumbing. All right, at the heart of it all, as promised, is my Grizzly 10-inch 2 horsepower hybrid table saw. It's a G0899. It is wired up for 220. It comes from the factory 110, but I wired it up for 220. Yes, I have an extension cord, and I've seen tons of videos that, what do you do about your extension cord? But I got to tell you, I've never tripped over it. It's there. I mean, I step on it. It doesn't bother me a bit. So it's pretty easy. I added a little extension wing, just some plywood, so it gives me lots of extra space for cutting, ripping. Dust collection just goes up to the ceiling. I have a blast gate up there. Zero clearance insert. The saw has done wonders for me. I'd love to have a 3 or a 5 horse, but the 2 horse seems to work just fine for me for what I'm doing. Maybe sometime in the future we can upgrade, but for now works well. And of course, you can't have a table saw without an assembly table. I mean, you can, but it's really nice to have it as an outfeed table and an assembly table. I built this It was 2 years ago. So all the framing is castle joints. So it was not necessary, but it was fun and I wanted to do it. Never did castle joints before, so I went ahead and did castle joints. The framework is made from pine, 2x6s that I ripped down, squared them up, and glued them together. And over here, the leading video coming up, I have another stack of 2x6s that I'm going to redo the miter saw station to match the assembly outfeed table. We have a little storage under here in the bottom. I keep my sanding vacuum there, just some odds and ends. The top of the assembly table is basically black Formica on MDF, and then I routed in all the grooves and put the T-track in. It's really nice for, assembling things, and I have these clamps that just slide right in, and it's great for work holding. If I had to do it again, I probably wouldn't put so much T-track in it. Yeah, it looks cool, but I don't use it all, so I would probably save a little bit of time and money if I had to redo it. The drawer faces are all hickory, and all the trim on the assembly outfeed table is hickory. Regular hinge drawers. The drawers are made out of plywood. So I have your classic junk drawer. Every kitchen has one, but I keep my drill driver bits and drill bits and chisels, just miscellaneous things in that drawer. Playing cards for my neighbor because he's addicted to card tricks. And then I just have some basic tool drawers, screwdrivers, few sockets, wrenches. I have my toolbox in the garage, which is 20 feet away. So if I need anything, I can run into the garage and grab it. I have my cutting drawer, so I have drill bits, scissors, knives, sawzall. You can see it. I don't have to explain it all, but that's my cutting drawer. And down below that is my fastener drawer, so all the main screws that I use. And then down here, just another miscellaneous junk drawer. I find I use a lot of rubber bands. I don't know why, but I just like to keep a couple bags of rubber bands around. In the middle, as I said before, the sanding vacuum, which goes out. And then I have the hose just suspended on a track and a pulley. And that allows me to sand right here on the assembly table. That little vacuum does a great job of collecting all the sawdust. As we move over here to the bigger drawers, so this drawer is my sanding drawer. So I have all my boxes of sandpaper in there. And then I have my router drawer. So I have my handheld router and my trim router and a few different bits. And then down below that is my fastener drawer, bolts, screws, wooden pegs, filler plugs, Allen wrenches, hole saws, just all the odds and ends that you may need for woodworking. And then as we move around the front of the assembly table, of course I have my TV couch, but I like to keep a roll of this rosin paper, and then I can just roll it up onto the table and cut it off for when I'm painting. The steel siding on the ends is the exact same siding that I used on the walls. So, and over on this side, we have a multitude of small drawers as well. So I have some more of my precision instruments. Keep those in the drawer. And then, of course, all the squares in the second drawer. Third drawer, staples, brad nails, crown staples. And my tape drawer. And another odds and ends drawer, mostly guides and equipment, wrenches and blades and things like that for the planer and the jointer. And then another miscellaneous drawer. This one is packed full of all the little Christmas ornament things that I used for building the wooden Christmas trees. Again, there's the dust hose. This side I have my pocket hole jig drawer with the screws, the pocket hole machine. And then I just have, random corded, mostly corded items, a Dremel, multi-tool, sawzall, little sanders, and then some more corded tools go in this drawer. So all in all, the assembly table has been really great to have. I do have the over the sawdust collection, which is right here, and that goes up over top. It's a blade guard, and the dust collector hose hooks up to that, but I don't use it. It kind of gets in the way, so I just deal with the sawdust. But so that's the main part of the shop there. Table saw assembly outfeed table. Then along with that, of course, dust collection. I have the Grizzly dust collection system. I took it off the cart. So it actually used to be on this cart here, but I took it off the cart, mounted it to the wall, hooked it up to the Oneida Dust Deputy, I think it's called. That thing works great. And then I have a little small barrel that it does fill up fast, but I just keep an eye on it. The big canister filter, and then the small bucket that collects a little bit of fine dust. All that runs off of the remote control switch. So there's a little remote control switch in that box. So real quick, I can just hit the button and the dust collector fires up. And it's really convenient. I have another remote over by the miter saw station. 4-inch PVC is the main duct runs. And I have one that goes down, feeds the joiner. And then the next one comes over and feeds the planer. And each piece of equipment has its own blast gate. Over here, I was going to do a floor sweep. So I was going to run that down to the floor so I could just sweep into it. And I never did because I never really needed to. So I should remove that length and reuse that blast gate somewhere else. But then we go up across the top. And of course, we have the one that comes out for the table saw and drops down again, another blast gate. And then that one goes all the way across the shop. Hopefully you can't hear my furnace going in the background, but comes down the corner, and then it runs behind the miter saw bench into my miter saw box, dust hood collection box thing. It actually works really good. It's hinged. I'm going to rebuild it, and I can actually take this one off if I'm cutting miters. Again, that has a blast gate, and that works really well. From there, it continues behind, and then I have the end stubbed out there for my bandsaw, which I don't use the bandsaw a lot, and if I'm going to use it for multiple cuts, then I'll hook the dust collection up just manually. I'll finish that, excuse me, I'll finish that off once I rebuild the miter saw station. So with the miter saw station, of course, you got to have a good miter saw. I have the Bosch, the Glide, and this saw has been really nice. Inside, I've got it hooked up to the dust collection. And it's been a great piece of equipment, and it fits nice and tight back to the wall. And again, this dust collection hood works really well. I'm pretty happy with the saw, and that's about all there is on that. The miter saw station was some old desktops that I had from, 15, 18 years ago. We got them out of a realtor's office. I did have the router mounted underneath there, but didn't like the way it performed, so I took that out. And I just have a stop block for repeatable cuts, so that works out pretty well. Nothing fancy, a little bit of storage underneath. I've got my table saw blades, a bucket of rags, and then of course under here all my cutoffs. I just throw all the cutoffs in the boxes, and I'll split those up for kindling for inside the house later. And I have a little bench top belt sander, my old Delta chop saw under there, which is nice for taking somewhere else to do projects outside, and then just random storage for odds and ends. Powered by this little Porter cable air compressor, and that actually goes up behind the dust collection pipe all the way across the ceiling. You can see the orange hose here above the dust collector. So that goes through up into the loft, and then I've ran that hose behind the panel and then over to my retractable reel. Side of the shop, I have the Grizzly G0858 jointer. It's a helical head joiner, and this might be my favorite tool in the shop. It does a stellar job. It's quiet, it's sharp, and I can take rough lumber and mill it up into nice fine square pieces to use. So from there we go over to the planer, and the planer is also a Grizzly. It's a G1021X2. It's a heavy duty 15-inch planer, and this thing is a beast. It'll chow through anything. I think it's 5 horse, I think. I don't remember. I did install a Wixie digital readout. So this is a great tool to have. And so as I raise and lower the planer beds, see if I can focus in on that, it'll give me an exact reading of the thickness of what the finished part is going to plane out to. So, no, I'm sorry, it says right there, it's a 3 horse. This has been a great machine. I love it. It's on a mobile base, so I can pull it out away from the wall a little bit if I'm doing longer pieces. Then I've got a few roller stands that will make the outfeed on that a little easier to manage. Over here, I have an old hutch that came out of the house, and it just is my random storage for all things miscellaneous. Above that, I have I forget what it's called, but it's like a particle board, melamine finish on it, and then you can have all these baskets, shelves that hook into it. These shelves are all the cutoffs that I do on a daily basis if they're big enough for B-frames. And I just start piling all that stuff in there. So it's a good use of all of the extra wood that I cut off from making bee boxes. As we roll around this way, I have the fuse panel back behind my bee suit. I have a small TV in the corner, and then we have the large TV. Obviously, I'm a Lions and a Michigan Wolverines fan, so normally I would keep all my honey supers up in the loft, but there's just too many of them this year, and I decided to just leave them out here on the floor. I'll be putting those back on the hives come spring. A couple finished pieces there that a customer ordered and never came and picked up, but it happens. A couple little mini fridges, keep some adult beverages in there, some water, some summer sausage, snacks, things like that it's handy to have out in the shop. And then the popcorn maker for football. Bag of Cajun peanuts in there. Keep all the supplies inside to keep the dust off of it. My stock of bee box building, mostly 1x8s and 1x12s. Then I have my process rack. This is where, when I'm building an order, I use this. It's nice to roll it around the shop so I don't have to walk around to stack things up. Right here I've got a stack of deep hive bodies that are ready to be assembled and painted. And then I take, again, with all these cutoffs, I can make bee frames out of these, or inner covers, telescoping covers, so none of that goes to waste. All the little short stuff, I do sit down with a hatchet and I split it all up and make kindling for the house wood stove. So that's pretty nice to have all that ready to go. I have, again, a Grizzly drill press. I use it quite a bit. It's just super nice to have a drill press. They're nothing fancy, but when you don't have one, you really really miss having one, and I like having that. My last acquisition was the 17-inch G0513. It's the anniversary, 40-year anniversary edition. Um, that's a really fun saw to play with. This winter, before Christmas, I was making a lot of the bandsaw reindeer, so that was fun. It's great for resawing. It's got plenty of power. It's 2-horse. Again, it's got the 2-port dust collection on it, which comes in handy if you're resawing. I have my drill station, charging station. I run the DeWalt platform. It's been, my name is Jeff Bushman. Just turned 50 years old in 2024 and been keeping honeybees for several years now. Been woodworking for probably close to 20, on and off. Started with a little job site table saw probably 20 years ago, a little piece of junk I bought at the big box store, but it cut wood and I built stuff. Simple as that. I fell in love with it and I've been hooked ever since. So over the years, acquired more tools and decided that, I wanted a wood shop. I wanted a man cave. It's always been a dream of mine to have a little place that I could come hang out, enjoy doing the things I like, and just relaxing. So 3 years ago, I built the shop all by myself. I had a little bit of help putting the roof on, but other than that, everything in the shop was built by hand, by me, alone. It was quite the adventure. I enjoyed it immensely. Would love to build another one if I had more space on my property, but unfortunately I don't. So no more shops on this little acre, but I got into the honeybees and I started buying boxes, honey boxes, frames, everything that goes inside of a hive. Most of that stuff is made in China, and let's just say the quality is not that good. So I decided, what the heck? I've got a wood shop. The boxes aren't too difficult to build. Let's give it a go. So I started building the components for my own hives. It was really nice. I saved a ton of money, and the boxes that I built were superior in quality compared to what I could buy online. So I started that, and I just kept building boxes. And one day I put an ad on Marketplace, and I was surprised how many calls and messages I got. Mostly local people wanting honeybee boxes. So it started to grow. I've shipped all over the Midwest, up in the UP of Michigan down to Ohio. I built everything from the hive bodies to the frames to the telescoping covers. You can buy all the hive components. You can assemble them yourself, save a little bit of money, or you can have me assemble them. I'll paint them whatever color you want. You literally send me a message, call me, and I'll call you when they're ready. You come over, pick them up, and you're ready to go. So it's been a great adventure, and I'm thrilled at the response I got from the public. Some of the best things are I get to meet my customers face to face, and they come to my shop and they see it. They can see how clean and organized it is. They love the quality of the boxes, and we get to chat about bees for sometimes hours on end, which I absolutely love it. If you're into honeybees, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You get me started on honeybees, I won't shut up. So, and I think a lot of beekeepers are like that. It's a very passionate hobby, and those little creatures are so amazing, and you can just never stop learning when it comes to honeybees. So, I combine the two, honeybees and hive building. I started Charlotte Honey Company. It's not a big company. It doesn't have to be. I still work a full-time job as a quality manager for an automotive assembly group. So my days are full. I work mostly 10-hour days, but then I am able to come home and come out in the shop and relax, build some things, take some orders. Sometimes I just sit in here and listen to music and have a cup of coffee. It's a great time, but I decided I'm going to start this YouTube channel. It's going to be focused mostly on honey and hive crafts. I'm also an avid gardener. I love the outdoors. I love fishing and canoeing. And so I thought I would share with everybody and share my journey on YouTube, sort of a how-to, step-by-step process. And we'll start with a shop tour. I'll show you guys around, show you the equipment I'm using. I'll show you how I built the shop. I don't have any video of when I built it, but I do have some still shots so you can kind of see the progression a little bit. but I'll take you through the whole thing for the last 3 years of what I've been doing and what it's developing into, and how much I love it more and more every day. Eventually, I'll retire, and this will be a great business to have after retirement, where I can work at my own time, I can make a little extra money, and I can live comfortably. So, with that being said, look forward to showing you everything that I'm doing, and I hope you can learn something from the videos I'm going to post. Um, I would love it if you would subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, watch the videos. The more you guys watch the videos, the more the algorithm's going to put it out to everyone else to be able to watch the videos. And the more people that watch it, obviously, the better chance I have to help somebody and give someone an aha moment and go, oh, that's how they do it. I can do that. And that would be just amazing for someone to be able to take this and do it themselves like I've been able to do. So it's about sharing and giving back, and it's time to do that. So I look forward to the journey with you, and I hope you stick around and stay tuned.